Love you,
Um,
Susu. I'm dropping down. Yes, I do love you.
right,
You know
stop that.
that.
See, that's why people see. Look,
That's why people what?
nothing.
That's why people what?
Mm-mm. I'm not doing it. The screen has to be respectful, and people get defensive, cut people off, and be loud. That's true. They said, "Braid, you silly. You fear you missed some chapters." No, we're just having a healthy discussion. We're just a little serious up here right now. Clock in. So anywho, do you think that what you and what King were saying was the same point?
But we
Okay,
was
so
giving different perspectives.
I
We
want
was
to
giving
hear
more different sides.
I want to hear what areas you agree with him and what areas you didn't agree, so that everybody it's clear for everybody. Because I
So
want
I
to not
think that
mix
y'all
up
had
all
some.
that.
I think that y'all had some very valid points. I think that Cynthia kind of hit the nail on the head. Like the only point I was trying to make was it's not just it just doesn't happen to women. Y'all are coming up here and saying like how women walk down the street and fear this and fear that. Some men do the same thing. If I could have got my point out, it's not just a one sided thing. I think that y'all was speaking from such an emotional standpoint. Like y'all didn't hear some of the things that y'all was saying about those men and like even though there were some hypotheticals, it was like very, very graphic and crazy things. Like it was some crazy things and crazy scenarios that even though it is true, things could happen. Like it was just really crazy. And then come to find out, the men, she came up to them, she approached the men. So it's like, again, that could be a setup on the other end. Like that could have been dangerous for everybody. Y'all, a woman coming up to me, approaching us, and then now the group that she came with is trying to check us, and now it's pressure with us. Like it, don't come up to me. That could be a setup for those men. And now people are on TikTok saying that these 4 men was young niggas surrounding her gonna do this. It's a whole nother side of things that like, although y'all are right, and I'm not disagreeing with y'all, there is another part of it too. Like, what the fuck you coming up to me, trying to get me or whatever the case may be, and now your people coming up like we the people trying to attack you. Girl, why the fuck would you approach me in the first place? Now if them niggas apply pressure to them trying
Right.
to
If
attack
you know
them,
that you
that's
with
a
a group of
fool.
people, that's not gonna be okay with all of this. But again, everybody was drunk. That's a fair point to make. I just think that a lot of people were just coming from the space of just innate fear, right? Like I know you're gonna think it's valid, but like I don't know if all men, I'm sure some men, right, walk around worried about protecting their dangling. But almost every woman has to think about protecting her goods. When we leave and we're out and about and we're trying to have fun, we can't 100% have free fun. We have to also look over our shoulders. Many of us, most of us, all of us, I think, personally me, it's a shared experience. Every culture, everywhere, we have to actually protect what's between our legs. Actually, because it can actually be taken. And so I think that's where that point was coming from. But what you're saying is valid too. Especially, her coming, it could have been a setup. It could have been a setup for them too, because she with a big group of people. That's fair to say, but I'm glad you're able to express that.
Have we not seen women or certain women go to certain bars and certain things? Niggas at the bar getting drunk. They trying to get them back to get their credit card numbers. There's plenty of other shit like on the flip side of things.
Yeah, but I think the financial finesse versus actually taking somebody's goods.
That could be a part of it too, though.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that is a part of it. That's what was brought up earlier as well by Cynthia. That is very well, yes. In strip clubs, the girls get the niggas drunk and run their pockets. That's what happens. But it's not safe regardless. That was my point when I brought King up. Somebody said in the comments, we got to stop normalizing hookup culture, and I truly do believe that. The one night stand thing, the leaving the club with a stranger thing, it's just not safe for nobody. I think that's one thing that we can all agree to. Is like, it's just not something that should be normalized, although it does happen. It's not safe for men or for women. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. It's really not. It's not safe at all. And I hate to sound like a prude or act like, I don't know how shit go down. I know how shit be. Like, I get it. I understand. I know sometimes you get caught up in the mood. You get caught up in the moment. and everything like that. But that's how men find themselves in situations where women are like, oh, he did this to me, took advantage of me. She might be acting like she's super okay, and she might be acting like she's super coherent, but really she might be under the influence and not able to give consent. Vice versa, you bring a girl home, she sets you up. Like, it's just not safe at all around the board. It's not. Do we want to continue the thingy thing? We only got a few more minutes. I'm glad we was able to hash it out.
Fuck you.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck. That shit don't bother me. I don't give a damn, boy. Please.
They pray on you. They done seen all us. Thank you, honey. They done seen all us women. They know which one is the most, the least, the bottom. They know which one.
Don't use the F word with me. I don't like that. That triggers me. Please don't fucking disrespect me. Thank you very much.
Hate you.
They do.
Bitch, say it again.
I hate you, Jody.
Oh, you gotta go. Ain't shit funny about that.
And better not nobody drop me.
You better apologize right now.
And if I don't,
bitch, I'm dead ass serious. I'm being so for real right now.
Well, don't drop me. I don't care. I was serious earlier.
Apologize for the hate.
You didn't hear me. I can tell you need a Q-tip, babe. Can see it.
Bitch, these ears is clean. I actually have OCD about my ears. Don't play with me. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Thank you.
And so they've already peeped that because Coco was out there, Quay was out there.
Somebody needs to call Bryson's auntie.
Tiffany, they dancing.
What'd you say, Riz?
Somebody needs to call Bryson's auntie.
I think so too. He really got me fucked up. I might have to. I don't know how I feel right now. I'm actually pissed.
The twisted back.
Girl, welcome to the motherfucking club.
Just don't play with me. For real. I'm getting.
You're irritated. You irritated.
Shut up!
Okay, so pay attention. So they walk up to Lit Touch. They didn't walk up to Coco. They didn't walk up to Quay. They didn't walk up to none of them. And I'm talking about the bad ones. Walk up to none of them. They went straight up to Lit Touch. That's three of them. This the fourth because he came with a bar. When they took him to the bar to get her a drink and the bar was closed, that's when this one popped up. So you really got four niggas, right? I saw it's two on the floor with you. Then the third homeboy popped up on the floor. Now you at the bar. Here come the fourth. So he said she came on the rim. At the end of the day, it's four of you motherfuckers. What y'all finna do? They finna fuck and take advantage and fucking probably take your life. Because who's gonna come back and say that you're gonna be walking around a cruise getting pointed out that it might be you.
He just pissed me off. I'm so irritated.
Your touch can't go on no more.
I'm being so for real. You ruined me.
What? Susu, wait. She about to send me a million-ass paragraph right now, y'all. So I'm down here laughing in the comments with a couple of y'all. She said, I'm triggered. Go figure. I'm sorry, sister.
Don't fucking play with me.
Anxiety.
He was not talking to me. I didn't respond. Carlosha.
Play nothing else about no damn Nitronam. Every time she play or recap the damn FOE, it's a problem over here. I'm trying to do
Only a problem when somebody don't agree with you. That's the problem. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. The fuck is you talking about? Like,
girl.
Anytime somebody have an opposite opinion of fuck,
girl, please. That's
what
not
you
what
do. You want to get up under their skin and ruin their motherfucking vibe because your vibe is ruined because you feel some way.
Well, y'all shouldn't have pissed me off earlier.
Okay,
and you would be
you
pissed off right
see
now.
what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
The fuck?
The fuck?
Clock it, Susan.
See, they don't know. They don't know. But I do.
I've been through. They don't know the half. You know that song?
I already,
They only, yeah, you muted. They only know what I tell them. That's what she get. Y'all not gonna piss me off in here. They don't know. They don't know about the
pain.
Thank
Little
you.
nigga been going through lately, baby.
Nah, you trying to reverse psychology, like trying to make like it like I'm the problem. Respectfully, you and Lynn still got me fucked up, and I am gonna still be mad later. But you could be mad right now.
What's crazy is I don't have to agree with every single thing you say or do.
Amen.
Suppose that never was a thing, but you know that.
Okay, so when somebody say y'all and want to say y'all,
you know
and y'all
that.
hear what y'all saying, why is it an issue?
Right.
Again, I didn't like what y'all did earlier. That was some bullshit.
And we don't like what you did earlier.
Exactly.
Except try to say a different perspective.
Drop in the comments and just troll.
Okay,
you
so
dropped in the comments and trolled.
Oh, duh, as I do every time.
Okay, so I didn't like that.
Relations.
Okay. Thank you. What is we doing? Y'all piss me off. They ain't gonna tell me to shut up. Please.
Ooh, I hope I got a bottle.
Oh, what you gonna do? You gonna press the button on me?
Hold on.
What you finna do? Is you finna press the button on me?
Child, we about to have fun tonight because I'm dead ass. There's so much to unpack. Hold on.
I'm finna be your topic tonight.
Hold on.
Is you about to make me your topic tonight?
What is this? You and Bryce and them. What is this? So this is my thing. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, since we're talking about it, let's get into it because there was some more stuff to unpack with the conversation into it. Because I am nosy. Like all jokes aside, let's get into this.
Okay.
So there was a good point like that y'all was up here talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the whole. You remember? It was the whole drinking stuff, right? The whole drinking and the consent thing.
The consent, right?
Exactly. So King, and like, although that was a good point. What he was trying to make, King, your stupid ass, you lost us all when you said.
I knew you was gonna keep it real.
Yeah, bitch, I knew
you was gonna keep it real. Because let me tell y'all, before you finish your thought, Braid stopped typing in the comments. That
pissed me off so bad. Like, I was getting mad. I was getting really, really mad when he was up there talking that shit. That whole thing pissed me off because it was so good in there to talk about, but that shit pissed me off. So, King, first of all, I don't know what...
Hey, can we help with my live goal, y'all? Or do y'all want me to change it and make it something less?
Let me say this. You have to have consent when you do engage in acts, okay? There has to be consent. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about y'all. I don't have bitch. I don't know about you, bitch. But I know about me. So, but the point is this.
Now circle back and come sit next to me.
Yeah, now let's circle it back, though. Let's circle it back. The drinking part is the confusing part of it all, right? Because... Okay, the point that was being made was like, okay, we're at the club, like motherfuckers act like they don't be drinking and fucking type shit. Like it ain't like two motherfuckers don't be drinking. So then it's like, who is consenting if two motherfuckers is drunk? That's the thing. And when it comes to you saying you can't drink, this is the part where it's like a good topic and confusing. You can't really give consent when you're drunk, right? And that goes even to in a marriage, I'm assuming, or whatever, because you know sometimes in a marriage even SA can happen and stuff. So it's like, what is that? Like, what? Let's unpack the if you're drinking consent. Like that part was the part that needed to be unpacked. You know, that's what versus, you know, what the fuck was being said.
Yeah, that's something like, it was getting a little too sticky for me, but I wanted to understand, but then it went down a wrong path. And I said, I don't know where we're headed here, but this ain't looking too good.
It's just going back to the reasonable person, right? Reasonable person's standard. Like two consenting adults. If somebody is inebriated to the point where they're not able to drive, they're not a consenting adult to be able to be in a sexual dynamic with another person. Unless, fuck, champ. Why'd you do that? Sorry, 1 second.
Rich, don't talk to that dog like that.
Okay, so what is it? Is it a glass of wine? Is it 2 glasses of wine? Is it any drinks at all? Is it a shot? What is the part of the okay, boom, now you done had a few sips and you still are in control or you can consent versus you done had too many sips and you can no longer consent? Like I really want to unpack and dive into that.
That's the part where things get sticky. I think with regards to strangers, any drinking, with regards to someone you know, that is where I think it's more nuanced, right?
But still, like even with people you know, stuff can happen. That's when it happens the most with people you know.
I have a husband. We're in a relationship. We might have an understanding of consent because we're in a committed relationship with each other. But then I might be drunk and say I don't want it. that's still me rescinding consent, right?
Right.
Versus me and you meet at a bar somewhere, and I don't know you from Adam and Eve, you don't know me from Adam and Eve, so I don't know what you've drank all day, you don't know what I've drank all day, and now you taking me home in an Uber. Like, that's crazy. Like, essentially, that's what was going on with Miss Ma'am, and she had three. The thing about it is, what was alarming to everyone, the viewers and the people there, is that she got one main nigga kissing and rubbing and licking and touching. The other nigga's on the other side of her, and then there's another nigga behind. And like, so it's two to a room. It's two to a room on a cruise. It ain't no single rooms.
So agreed on that. Okay, so we're going to go back to the little touch. That's where I think we glitched earlier too, because we would go from general to little touch because that is the topic. So does it change anything to know that she is the one who approached the men? She is the one who initiated whatever and called them. Does that change any dynamic? Like, is it in the consideration of them being just normal civilians doing whatever and they was approached by whatever? Does that change any dynamic?
Not necessarily, right? Because you gotta understand the power aspect of it. No matter if he came onto them or they came onto her, right? Mm-hmm. She's still the person who is at the most disadvantage, regardless.
I was about to say, I don't.
So let's take the 4 men away and let's use just the one man that was dancing that we saw.
If it's just
the one man, would that change it?
I don't think it changes it because I feel
if she came up to him, it still wouldn't change it if it was just one man.
Okay, here's the thing. This is where I feel like it has nuance.
She's snoring.
Okay?
Yeah, drop karma.
She's sleeping good.
So okay,
this is how I feel. This is where
change it.
Okay, this is where I feel it has nuance, Braid. Okay, follow me. If it's a thing where they maybe had they're not intoxicated. Okay, they're just at the place where they were chilling, listening to music, XYZ. Lil Touch is clearly inebriated and intoxicated, but they're still in their right state of mind, right? Then she coming onto them, you should still recognize and see, because you can tell a person that's inebriated versus a person that's in their right state of mind, correct? So in the event she comes up to them inebriated and they're in their right state of mind, it does not change the dynamic whether she approached him
inebriated as well if he's inebriated.
And see, that's where it gets sticky because if they are both
just as inebriated as she is.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it gets sticky because if he's not in his right state of mind, they are both inebriated, then it's like none of them can give consent at that point in time because they're both inebriated.
I was gonna say the legal limit when your blood alcohol content reaches a certain limit, you can't consent anymore. Point blank, period. Whether it's the guy or the woman or both.
Yeah, and even like some people are lightweight and stuff, and they take medicine that requires. They get drunk faster. Even then, if both are inebriated and both participate in such activity, it's consensual until one person says no. Now, if you wake up and say, "Oh, it was all a mistake," we both were out of our mind, it was still consensual because in that inebriated
How can it both be consensual until one says no if they're both inebriated? Because you can't.
Because when you say no, because when you say no, you can't
give consent if you are inebriated.
Listen, when you say no, it ends consent. But if they're both
being inebriated should end consent as well. If that's what y'all are up here arguing, right?
No, but he's right in that sense. When
you didn't let me finish.
Let me jump in. You are right in saying no means no, so you could have been okay with it and said no, right? But the point being, consent. Sorry, Shamo. 1 second, honey. The point is, consent cannot be given under the influence. So
yes, but what I'm saying, no, consent can be you can take consent away under the influence. And
no, I'll bring your fan under
the thing is, I would love.
You can never give consent under the influence.
I would love to finish my thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, so if both are inebriated, we can't tell people that are just drunk that they can't have sex until they're both sober in their sober mind. If they're both in an inebriated state and, things happen, if nobody says no or revokes consent while the act is occurring, the next day they can't say, "Oh, it was a mistake. I was raped or
I
something
don't see.
happened."
No, that's what King was saying, and that's where y'all lost it at. That's where you're getting
No,
sticky. That's where it gets sticky
no.
because
What is?
that is getting sticky.
No, I'm not. Listen, this
You're
is
just
me.
saying two drunk people can be. You're saying. They're like, it's difficult. That's what I'm trying to say. We need to unpack that because you're saying
No, what
you
I'm saying
can't
is
give consent while you're under the influence.
No, I'm saying you can't. You can still revoke consent even under the influence. That doesn't equate to you can give consent under the influence. You're taking my thing and you're making a straw man argument out of it, and I don't appreciate it. I'm saying one thing, you're saying is really different.
Rizzy,
We're saying two different things. You're saying that I'm saying you can still revoke consent under the influence.
But
You're
how
saying,
can you? Okay, that's my question right there. How can you revoke consent if you can't even give it if you're under the influence? Is what I'm saying.
because if they're two consenting adults, if they're engaging in an activity even under the influence,
But how can they be consenting adults
Because
under
they're
the
both under the
influence
influence.
if you can't
But
give
they're
No,
consent
because Braid,
under the influence?
Okay, here's the thing, Braid.
I know I'm correct, bro. Like
Right.
I'm literally.
What
So
you're
I'm not
missing
making
is
sense.
no, you're making sense, but what you're missing is it's consent until someone says no, unless one person is not in their right state of mind and the other person is. Then you cannot. That person.
Talking about two intoxicated people.
Yes.
We're talking about two. I
Right.
agree with that. Duh. I know you can say no under the influence. We're not even getting there, y'all. If you're under the influence,
So
how can you consent?
So can I bring in a quick search? Consent given while intoxicated is legally invalid if the person cannot understand or evaluate decisions. States differ somewhat in definition, especially around voluntary intoxication, but U.S. law mandates that consent must be conscious, voluntary, and informed. Incapacitation due to drugs or alcohol nullifies consent, even if the intoxication was voluntary in many jurisdictions. Legally and ethically, both parties must remain sober enough to clearly comprehend and articulate consent. So you are right, Braid. But you are also right, Rizzy, in saying if you guys are under the influence, no matter what, even under the influence, if you hear no, that is revoking consent.
Correct. But and I agree with that. Duh, that's common sense. If a motherfucker says no, that is not consent. My question is, how do you get there to the point of saying no if you're both under the influence already? That's what I'm saying. If you're saying you're under the influence and you can't give consent, how can you revoke it if you never gave the damn consent is my question. Because you're both under the influence.
I'm not like, here's the thing. I don't like have any.
It's automatically revoked. There is no consent, which
right. That's what I was thinking. I don't have any degrees in laws. But however, I think Braid.
But you can vocalize it. So you both are intoxicated. There is no consent, but you guys can. If you are still inebriated and then say it in the act while you were both inebriated, regardless, that is still revoking consent.
Right.
No.
But here's the thing.
Because you never know in what state someone can sober up. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. But here's the thing. In the event, Braid, of what you're saying, where like, let's take someone said no out of it, right? Say they're both inebriated and then they have sex. And then they wake up the next morning and then they're like, one person says, oh my God, I didn't want that. It's null and void because at the end of the day, y'all were both inebriated.
That's where I can't. So that's where I disagree with you and Rizzy because everybody kept saying they agree with Rizzy. I disagree right there.
Unless the intoxication was involuntary on the side of the party that is complaining. Unless that party was.
I disagree.
Unless that party was roofied, then that wasn't involuntary intoxication. So listen, that's already
I disagree. I disagree, and this is what I'll say. Y'all
because there's a lot of people in prison right now.
Listen, there's so many Rizzy. There's so many situations where there's two drunk people, and then the woman wakes up the next day like, "What the fuck?" and I didn't want that, and a motherfucker's charged. So let's not say just because y'all both was drunk. No, she voluntarily. Y'all can't say a motherfucker and say no is null and void. That is not how that shit goes.
I didn't say that.
Y'all both just said that.
No, I didn't.
And you said unless the other party was movie.
I really, oh my God, maybe this is good that I haven't been on TikTok.
No, listen, you guys gotta hear each other out. Let Rizzy talk.
I'm literally trying to have a conversation, right? I'm trying to have a,
yeah, it's okay. I give you the floor. It's your floor. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, literally, if a woman is if they're both inebriated, they have sexual intercourse. During the intercourse, at any point, a woman can say no, a man can say no, and that revokes consent, regardless if they're
Correct.
under the influence or not.
We
They take
agree.
on consent. Now, if the woman or man wakes up the next morning, they're both inebriated, they had sex, nobody said no, everybody had a good time, but
Correct.
there's regret. A woman or a man cannot say, I revoke consent, because during that time, they were both inebriated. And if it was involuntary, if it was involuntary, if they
That's
were
where you're getting. That's where you're losing me right there.
Well,
that's where you're losing me.
that's where you're lost.
Yeah, you're losing me right there.
Okay,
Because
well, be
all of the
lost.
whole, even the
No,
regret term,
because
all of, like,
what I'm saying is, in terms of if there's our kid done, and then there's roofies. I mean, like you were roofied or something, and you end up in bed with a person that you don't know how you even got there and all that stuff, because people can be involuntary intoxicated. That is a freaking crime all in itself. And then being sexually assaulted is a crime on top of that. So that's where the legality of that comes from. I agree. Like, what? I don't understand what.
Yeah,
the
and,
issue
and
is.
it's drugs. Yeah, like I agree with Rizzy on that. Now, here's the thing. I see a lot of people are saying no, that's not true in the comments, and Brave doesn't agree with that as well. So I don't have anything in law, so I'm trying to break it down as what makes sense. In the event they are two inebriated individuals, they engage in sexual activity. No one revokes consent by saying no. Then the woman wakes up and says, "Oh my God, we did what? Oh my God, that's not what I wanted to do," and tries to put charges. Couldn't the man equally turn around and say, "I didn't want this either," and put charges, because they're both in an inebriated state of mind?
The
so stay right there.
the charges wouldn't go through because she never revoked consent. Consent has to be.
Stay right there, though. Stay right there. Wait. The thing is, if she was under the influence, she never had the ability to give consent. That's where I'm trying to say my point. So if she wakes up the next day from being inebriated, voluntarily, she did it herself. Again, she never was able to give consent because she was under the influence. That's my whole point that I'm making. So y'all keep talking about revoking something. If you revoke it, it had to be given.
Think if
Well, couldn't either one revoke? I'm sorry, go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry.
I would think if both people were voluntarily intoxicated with no, drugging or rugging involved, then I would think that cancels out. Just like how people have sex accidentally, quote unquote, under other circumstances. Maybe they got caught in a moment, but they were both caught in the moment. It wasn't advantage of the other. It's like,
Right.
I would think that at that point, we both were equally engaged in the act voluntarily. So at that point, it's like, who can be the victim, who can be the criminal when we were on the same playing field?
And that's
why
why
to get back up here and scream again. Can y'all share the live to Trina so she
That's
can give
why
that
there's
therapist
no
and
state-
Rizzy
Oh my
and Southern Baby the same
That's
scream
why-
that she gave King?
That's-
Because it's a little
that's-
different when the women saying it. Can y'all get Trina back in here?
Hello.
I want Trina in here because I see 3
Hello.
people scream that
Hello.
child. The way she was screaming at that man
And
earlier.
that's
Susu,
why.
so I just
a lot
asked
of-
a judge. I just made a call and asked the judge, and he said
hello.
that
Trina. We
Hello?
want
he
Trina back.
said
And
that.
so
One second, everybody.
1 second, me or one? Okay, so I just asked the
I was
judge.
saying everybody.
Okay,
Go
The
ahead.
judge.
Confident, because Confident's going to drop Rizzy. Then I want you to go, okay? 1 second, honey. Go ahead, Confident.
okay, so I just asked the judge. He said that in the case that two people are inebriated, one person wakes up and decides that they didn't give consent, they would ask. Technically, Braid is right. Like, you can't just have regret sex, right? And they would have to then, if the person is like really pushing the issue, they would have to try to determine if one person was more inebriated than the other. So if Braid was more inebriated than me, and he decided that I took advantage of him, then yes, he could press charges against me. So that would be the case, but
Yes,
Yes, it's about who
press
would be
charges for
more. It
regret.
would be who is more incapacitated or impaired, and then it would go also into who was coercing the other. and who also was maybe physically incapacitated. So someone might have been drunk and someone might have been passed out. Those are two different levels. I want to let Rizzy go because she was next, but go. I'll just give me 1 second, therapist. Go ahead, Riz. Rizzy. 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 Rizzy.
She's taking care of the dogs right now. She busy.
Okay, go ahead, that therapist.
That would be a sticky circumstance because the amount of drinks that a man can have versus the amount of drinks that a woman could have is different. So SAMHSA says that women could have 2 drinks to where they would, still be, and this is just general, where they could still be, considered not drunk. But men, they can drink up to 4 drinks. So if a man drinks 4 drinks and a woman drinks 4 drinks, then that's a different, the blood alcohol level generally would be higher for the woman than it would for the man. So, that gets...
A woman said, I can outdrink plenty of men. There's a woman down there said, I can outdrink plenty of men. Bronx, come up for it.
I said generally, this not for every single woman. Some women, of course, they could have 3 drinks and still, be all right. But generally, women can have 2 and men can have 4.
I'm not trying to be messy, but that's not true.
Did you look it up on SAMHSA?
I worked in the service industry, and
okay, so you should look it up then.
No, I had to take.
It's not true.
Listen, I had to get certified.
Thank you, honey.
I had to get certified to serve bottles. I had to get certified to serve liquor. Only thing that cures drunkenness, you only allowed to consume so much alcohol per hour, right? Only thing that cures drunkenness, they be like, eat food, drink water. No motherfucker time. Take your ass to sleep. Wait till the next day to drink. You only supposed to consume so much a shot per hour. A shot per hour. So you got to think when you do a shots, each shot you do, it take that many hours to sober up. 3 shots, 3 hours. Not even sober up, but I'm just saying though, that's how you're supposed to consume alcohol.
Get it out your bloodstream.
So yeah. So
if you guys want to know what the National Drug Substance Abuse Administration says, then go to SAMHSA.org and it'll tell you the numbers there. SAMHSA.org. Not just my opinion, actual statistical facts.
Opinion. I worked in the service industry, and y'all don't need to be drinking anyway.
Meanwhile, mute up for me, Omar. There's a list of people in front of you, child. Mute. Go ahead. Not too much. Did you have something to say? Or are you just up here chilling? If you're up here chilling, that's fine. Oh, thank you, Kia. Shamo, do you have something that you wanted to say? Okay, go ahead, Bronx. Oh, wait. Go ahead,
in the real world, when a woman walk into a club, she is